There she is!
Something hits my bedroom window and I'm startled awake. In a daze, I trudge over to slam it entirely closed so I can go back to sleep. However, as I stand at the window, just in my bra, I see a figure looking up at me from the lawn below. Oh my god! I cover myself, looking away with embarrassment. There's a blonde girl on our lawn, fully creeping. But as I'm about to shut my blinds, she calls out to me. Clara! She yells out, quickly adjusting the volume of her voice as she herself becomes embarrassed. I glare at her through the glass, having no idea who this strange blonde girl is and why she knows my name. Just as I'm about to flip her off, for waking me up, she calls out to me again. Clara, it's me! She throws out her arms and I can see the panic on her face. It's me! Jaylen, help! Me. What? I shout like a dork at my closed window. Then I fling it open in frustration. What'd you just say, Blondie? It's like 5 a.m. Clara! The girl whines out, bringing her hands together to beg. Please, it's me, Jaylen. I woke up like this. The girl throws out her arms before dropping to her knees. I don't know who else to turn to. You gotta help me. My cheeks begin to burn bright and my heart races. Jaylen? Shut up! I'm not stupid! It's really me! The girl looks up, biting her bottom lip. If it wasn't me, how could I know that you and Jaylen used to play Barbie dolls together? She wipes her eyes. I made you promise never to tell anyone. Fucking hell, I mutter to myself in disbelief. Stay there! I'm coming down! As I close the window, my mind races. Across my eyes, the wish I made in pure frustration plays out in perfect detail. After what he did and said to me yesterday, I was angry. I wanted him to understand how it made me feel. In true Disney straight-to-VHS fashion, I wished upon a star to make that boy, the jerky jock captain of the football team, a girl. Then he'd truly understand, but now it seems like it's happening. I just hope Jaylen's switch into a pretty girl doesn't turn out to be Return of Jafar levels of crap. Awkward moments later, Jaylen rushes into my room and quickly closes the blinds. Or I guess she, looks at me terrified. She grabs her curly golden blonde hair, pulling at it so hard it makes me wince. What the fuck am I gonna do, Clara? She whines, letting go of her hair to start sobbing right there in front of me. I gently close my bedroom door. Jaylen, shh! You're gonna wake everybody. And I really don't fancy you having to field 20 questions about what's happening right now. Well, what else am I supposed to do? She glares at me through her tears. This morning, I had to do an internet search on how to reverse waking up as a girl. Her tone turns heavily sarcastic. I'm not sure increasing my intake of lentils is gonna help me grow back my... Stop being so dramatic, I interrupt with a stern shake of my head. Seriously, lower your voice. She opens her mouth to shout, but I stop her. Ah! I raise my finger. No, I say sternly. Fine. She sighs, looks away, and bites her bottom lip. You gotta help me, though. Why? I ask, remembering what she, or he, yesterday made me feel about myself. I can't admit this to anyone on the team. The guys will just laugh at me, and they'll never take me seriously as their captain again. Jaylen kicks at the floor and pouts. Who else am I supposed to go to? You're the only girl who actually talks to me. Why am I not surprised? However, I do feel a touch guilty about my wish. He might have said really vile things to me in front of all of his friends, but to see him actually transform into a girl, I can't help but worry for him. Yeah, and look what talking to you actually gets me, I quip. A crying wake-up call. I sigh to center myself. Anyway, how am I even supposed to help you? Wide-eyed like a lost little puppy. Jaylen looks at me from behind those big, beautiful blues, and I can see he's genuinely in need of help. I lower my head into my hands and let out the longest sigh. Fine, I'll help. I give him a reassuring smile. Firstly, what the heck are you wearing? It looks like you've raided your dad's wardrobe. They are my dad's clothes, she whines out, throwing herself onto my bed. All my clothes turn into girly crap, Clara. This was the only thing I could think to wear that wasn't tiny tops, tiny skirts, and tiny undies. Tiny undies. I stifle a laugh, covering my mouth. Yes, Clara. Jaylen groans into the bed sheets. I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. I do. I let the giggle out. It's just amusing to hear you say it, Jaylen. Is it? She buries her face into the sheets. Ah, come on. I say, trying to lift her spirits. I'm sure we can find something in my closet that you'll feel comfortable in. Girls wear pants too, you know. It's not all tiny skirts. Wow, this kind of feels like old times when we were best buddies. I'm sure Jaylen's cried like this on my bed before. Maybe it was when I told him his Barbie couldn't be president. Later that morning, walking to school, I look back over my shoulder and she's trailing behind. Come on, Jaylen, we're going to be late. Now wearing a pair of my cargo pants, a crop top, and the school jersey, Jaylen is covering her chest with one arm and biting her nails with the other. Do you think people can see me? She asks, anxiously running up behind me to hide. Yes, I answer frankly. You've transformed into a girl, Jaylen, not the invisible man. At least I'd be a man if I were invisible, she mutters to herself as we approach the school. Just act naturally, I say, trying to give Jaylen some encouragement. Oh, yeah, sure, she replies, dripping with sarcasm as she nods and gives me a dopey look. Thanks a bunch, Clara. What great advice. She pauses and then stares at me. Oh, wait, I'm not a girl. I don't have any experience being one. And the only person who knows about this thinks it's a head cold that will just magically go away tomorrow. Wow, I can't help but laugh at her. And there I was, thinking you were only a jerk because of the need to be macho in front of your meat-brain teammates. I glare at her. But no. Male or female, Jaylen, you're still a bit of a jerk. I flick my ponytail over my shoulder and stare straight ahead, quickening my pace. If you don't want my help, then fine. Have a nice day. Fine, she whines out, rushing to walk beside me. I'm happy you're helping. Just be a little less harsh with me, okay? She waves her hands around before wiping in one eye. These female emotions have got me acting all crazy. I look in his direction and can't help but really empathize with him. Okay, I'm sorry too. Just stick with me, okay? We'll get through it together. She softly smiles. Yeah, together. Thanks. In class. Clara, Jaylen whispers, nudging me as I try to concentrate. Your makeup looks fine. I huff in frustration, trying to take notes. And no, your ass doesn't look big in those pants, so stop asking me. No, Clara. She nudges me again. What? I whisper angrily at her as my attention turns to where I find she's looking. Zach keeps looking at me, Clara. Jaylen slides down in her seat to hide. He knows. Zach knows. He knows it's me. Zach knows it's me in this stupid girly body. He's gonna call me a femboy or something, I know it. Frowning, I shoot Jaylen a disapproving look as she once again starts chewing nervously at her nails. He doesn't know, I mutter under my breath, flicking a glance toward Zach, only to suck in an exaggerated gasp when I catch Zach staring at her. The teacher stops lecturing and turns to look at me with a stern expression. Miss Whitaker, the teacher scolds. Is there something you wish to share with the class? No, sir. I answer, going bright red as Zach and all the other football jocks smirk at me. Also sliding down into my chair, the class resumes, and when it's all quiet, Jaylen nudges me again. He knows, Clara, she whispers to me. He knows. I'm doomed. If they jump me after class, please protect me. They're gonna tease me for all this girly crap you made me wear. Made you? I whisper back, unimpressed. Girl, if you didn't wear that bra, you'd be in pain. Trust me on that. Plus, those guys, I point at them with my pencil, they'd be staring a lot, and not because it's cold in here if you catch my drift, yeah? At that moment, there's a knock on the classroom door. The teacher calls them in, and there stands the football team coach, looking across the classroom. Instantly, Jaylen sinks further into her chair, essentially now hidden under the desk. Zach! The coach snaps his fingers. As captain of the football team, I need you for a school brochure photo. Come with me right now. Captain? Jaylen blurts out, sitting now bolt upright, mouth wide open and pointing. That's the captain of the team? Animated, she shrieks out. What about me? I do a much better job. Every head in the classroom snaps toward Jaylen and her outburst. A few students snicker behind their hands. Others start whispering about her, and the football guys don't even bother hiding it. They just burst out laughing. That's very funny, Miss Kennedy. The coach sighs as Zach joins him at the door. If you want to be captain of something, miss, I suggest you work a little harder on those routines later. Understood? Yeah, Jaylen, one of the football team teases. Get in your own lane. You're a weak girl, not a burly dude who plays a real sport. She sinks back into her seat, a sour look spreading across her face as she stares down at her pen, turning it restlessly between her fingers. Don't remind me, she mutters under her breath. As everything begins to settle down and the teacher resumes talking, I nudge her with my elbow to give her attention. Hey, you're a cheerleader, I whisper as she glances at me. At least you're still doing a sport, huh? Oh, well, that kind of makes sense, she says at her desk, staring vacantly before looking at me worriedly. The girls from the cheer squad keep wanting to talk to me like I'm their best friend. It's kind of weird. They do? That's interesting. Yeah. Her face blushes and I can see her smile. Interesting. Sure. I'd be curious to see him cheerleading. He's always been good at team sports. One of the reasons we grew apart as kids, I suppose. Lunchtime. Standing at my locker, about to head down to the cafeteria for lunch, I wonder where Jaylen has gotten to after second period. It does not take long to find out, though. Only seconds later, she is calling to me, a frantic mess of long hair and flailing arms. Clara! She rushes over to me as I slowly close my locker, waiting for yet more drama from the star of the football team turned cheerleader. What now? I ask, resting one hand on my hip. She skids to a stop right in front of me, panting, her cheeks flushed a furious red. Then she grabs my hand and drags me down the corridor toward an empty classroom. I protest the whole way, but she's surprisingly strong. And a moment later, we're stumbling inside. She shuts the door behind us with a sharp click. You won't believe what just happened, she blurts out, dramatically flicking hair from her eyes. I try to hold in my laughter, but I just can't help it. Knowing who this blonde girl really is on the inside, he's being so over the top and such a drama queen. What are you laughing at? She gasps, planting a hand on her hip and fixing me with a sharp glare. You! I reply. Look how you're acting! I mimic her. You won't believe this! I tease, hamming it up as I act like her. Bitch! Wow, okay. I murmur, blinking in surprise as I glance away, too stunned to meet her eyes. Are you gonna listen or what? Do I even want to? I'm gonna tell you anyway, Jaylen blurts. Her words spill out so fast they nearly trip over each other. She paces the classroom nervously, strutting with jittery energy as she recounts every single detail of what happened. Well, almost every single detail. So I went to my locker, guess what was inside? Yeah, that's right, my gym stuff, only inside the bag was the skimpiest little skirt and a leotard and stuff. She stares at me with a wide open mouth and shocked eyes, completely silent, clearly wanting me to be just as blown away. And? I reply, arching an eyebrow. My football stuff transformed into cheerleading stuff, Clara, she blurts out. But that's not the worst of it. She starts flapping her arms in a panic. The cheerleading coach saw me, and she said that she wanted me to give my best, but I'm not gonna do my best because I can't practice. She wanted me to practice. Practice? I'm not gonna be doing that, especially since I don't know anything about cheerleading, so I literally can't do cheerleading. And even if I did want to, even try to attempt it, I'm not wearing that uniform. I open my mouth to say something snarky, but she just continues talking right over me. It makes me smile, honestly. Like it or not, Jaylen's already getting the whole being a girl thing when it comes to the drama. Then, she huffs and flicks her hair again. Then Zach, the big jerk, and those other guys I thought were my friends all surrounded me and I felt... And just like that, I catch a glimpse of the real emotion beneath all the drama. She quickly looks away, tears misting in her eyes, and bites down hard on her bottom lip to hold herself together. She stammers, her voice trembling but refusing to break. I felt so small, Clara. Her eyes lock onto mine, tears streaking down her cheeks. I felt scared. Oh shit. I grab her and bring her close to hold her. I'm sorry, Jaylen. With all the dramatics just then, I thought you were being silly. Not that you were genuinely upset. Sobbing, she pushes her face into my shoulder. I hate that they made me feel that way. Talking about me like I'm a piece of meat. She mumbles through the tears. Fucking jerks. I know. I find myself beginning to tear up. Just one of the many wonderful things about being a woman. I begin to explain, allowing the moments to consume me. That's how you made me feel, and why I wished last night for you to be a woman too, Jaylen. I gasp, pressing a hand to my mouth as the weight of what I've just admitted sinks in. Jaylen doesn't respond right away, but after a moment, she steps back, wipes the tears from her cheeks, and stares at me, wide-eyed and utterly shocked. Wait! She shakes her head in disbelief. You wished for me to be... She gestures at her chest. A girl, Clara? I become tongue-tied. Well... You bitch. She spits out in pure anger. I might be a bitch. I snap and shout back. But you're a fucking jerk too, Jaylen. You're just like those football team boys too, you know. Yesterday you did the same thing to me, and don't you dare try and deny it. That was... Through her tears, I watch her mind replay his actions. At first, her expression is frozen in shock, but slowly, understanding dawns. Now you understand how I felt. Whatever! She snaps back at me. You're still a massive bitch for doing this to me. You took everything that made me away! She grits her teeth and clenches her fist like she wants to punch me. Sometimes, I really hate you! She sneers. No time to even react to that, she turns on a dime and bolts out the door, crying the entire time. I'm left in shock, just staring at the open door with my mouth wide open. Am I a bitch? I mutter to myself in thought. No! I shake it off. He deserves a taste of his own medicine. I compose myself and wipe away any tears. Fuck! I kick at the table in frustration. Now I don't know what to think. I thought I was angry at him, but actually, I think I care for him now more than ever. The rest of the school day. Later in class, Jaylen barely acknowledges my existence. Surprisingly, he sits near another cheerleading girl and gets on with her quite well. I smile several times when Chloe, the other girl, talks to Jaylen about makeup, and he gives her honest, helpful replies. It's hard to know if this new reality that we're in is making his mind adjust to the female form he's in, or not. But the more and more the day goes on, the more and more I see him trying to take on the role of Jaylen, the cheerleader. Every so often, she says something macho and overly manly. But it almost feels like she's forced herself to say it, trying to hold on to any remaining masculinity. Whatever the reason for her behavior, doesn't leave a nice taste in my mouth. By the end of the day, I don't feel good about myself. Yeah, he might have surrounded me with his friends and made me feel bad about myself when I rejected him, but taking away his gender is maybe a step too far. I just hope he's learned a lesson from all this. Here's hoping it really is a 24-hour thing, and tomorrow he wakes up as normal. Otherwise, I've got some real apologizing to do. As the day finishes and I'm about to head home, I catch the sight of the cheerleading girls and Jaylen, rushing through the halls to head out onto the sports field. Surprisingly, Jaylen is full of energy, and wearing the uniform he was so opposed to at lunch. That gets me super curious. I follow them at a careful distance, settling halfway up the empty school sports stands that overlook the field. From there, I watch as the girls begin practicing their routines. A small smile creeps across my face as Jaylen takes charge, guiding the others flawlessly through a dance with confidence. The wish took the male out of him, but clearly that's the same person in that cute, delicate body. He's just as vocal with his new teammates, and weirdly, they all seem to be responding to him. Or her. As their session comes to an end, I can't help but raise an eyebrow as all the girls, including Jaylen, group hug and cheer. As I'm about to come down from the stands, I see across from me some of the boys from the football team are gathering, including Zach. That tall blonde one is so fucking hot, I hear Zach say as they all lurch on the girls below. Another one teases.
Zach, she ain't interested in a loser like you. Did you guys see how scared she was when he tried to ask her out? It was hilarious.
Fuck you, Zach groans, punching that same guy in the shoulder. Eventually, a few of the guys get up as the cheerleading girls are about to head back inside, and they start shouting at them.
Oi, Jaylen! Zach wants your ass, girl! Shake it for him!
Retching at their behavior, I'm about to shout at them, but the entire cheerleading squad beats me to it. Screw you, tiny dicks! They screech out and then burst into giggly laughter as they all bounce away behind the stands and toward the school. Well, I mumble, coming down off the stands and back around to the school. Just as I'm about to go inside so I can head home, Jaylen spots me. It's an awkward moment, seeing as we haven't spoken since lunch, but I keep my head down not to antagonize. However, she calls out to me and rushes over, full of energy. Hey! She smiles wide at me, letting out a breath like she's just had the best workout of her life. Did you stay and watch us the entire time? Yeah. I nod. You were pretty good, all things considered. Right? She, or he, says with an upwards inflection. I like her up and down. Long legs, thick thighs, narrow waist, perky chest, and a cute face topped by blonde hair. Football captain or not, Jaylen is a stereotypical cheerleader. It kinda suits him. I like it. You actually look really sexy in that uniform, I say. Like, really nice. She blushes and smiles. Right? She says again with an upward inflection and everything. She then starts twisting and turning, looking at herself the entire time. I was super nervous when getting changed. But actually, the girls, she looks back over at the cheer squad, are so super friendly. I told them what Zach did, and they all understood and comforted me. I don't know what else to say other than, oh, totally. She nods and grins. I kind of feel like I'm really comfortable around them. Nothing like with the boys, when I was a boy, you know. Always trying to be macho and worrying about my standing. She shrugs. Feels kind of nice to just relax and have fun. I lean in, sort of confused. Fun? I ask. Uh-huh. She gives me a big, bright smile before turning a little more serious. Hey, about lunchtime. I'm sorry I called you a bitch. I told the girls in the squad what happened with Zach earlier, and it made me realize what I did to you yesterday when I was a boy was just as nasty and so totally gross. She glances down, but then back up with misty eyes. I'm really sorry about that, and I totally understand why you wanted me to experience it for myself. Yeah, I say slowly, unsure if I'm currently dreaming. Don't worry about it. Cool! She gives me a thumbs up before looking back at the cheer squad who are waiting for her. I can't believe I'm about to say this honestly. She shakes her head once and then looks at me. You want to come hang out with us girls, Clara? We're all gonna get boba after school. Say what? Wanna come? She shrugs again and softly smiles. I enjoyed hanging out with you, and honestly, I wanted to thank you for not just laughing at me when I turned up at your house this morning. She wipes her eyes. I wouldn't have survived if it weren't for you. She reaches for my hand and gently takes it in hers. So, wanna come hang out with us? Maybe you and I could sit at a table alone and just drink some boba by ourselves? What, like a date? I mumble as she gently tugs at me. Exactly like a date. She grins as I allow myself to be pulled. But we're girls. I protest, but with little effort. Here she is! Jaylen screeches out, presenting me to the cheer squad to a chorus of cheering. Like for some reason I'm something special. Hi, I say with a little wave. Guys! Jaylen bounces excitedly, still clutching my hand tight. This is the girl I told you all about. This is the girl I like. Isn't she pretty? And just like that, my face erupts and burns with embarrassment. She likes me? Wait, do I like her too? Oh man, or should I say, oh woman?
Thank you so very much for watching and making it all the way to the very end. If you've enjoyed the content, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where members get early access to all our content.